Hello, everyone. We're live. We're live on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, say hello. Let us know where you're from. And if this is your first time here, welcome. We're going to introduce ourselves. So, Laura, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Laura Wooster. I'm an intuitive medium, psychic medium and intuitive, and I'm on the East Coast. I'm in the Boston area. And so this is an East Coast, West Coast thing going on here. And here's my lovely co-host, Elias.
My name is Elias Patras. I'm an intuitive motivator. What does that mean? Well, I help people connect to their goals intuitively, to their goals, so they can educate themselves and what's blocking them, and they can grow into their limitless possibilities. So we're both on here. We do this every Monday, guys. Every Monday, we just come on and we do a couple intuitive messages, a couple card pulls. We're on for about 20-ish minutes. And we just want to connect with you guys. So let's say hello real quickly. Hey, Carson. Good to see you.
Carson.
Thanks for being here. Jean, hello from the West Coast and from the West Coast. Jill, hello. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. Joy from the Midwest. Hello, Joy.
Hello,
Good to
Joy.
see you. Beth, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Delora.
Hi, Delora.
Indiana. I'm sure you are. Christine, on this snowy morning from the East Coast.
Yes,
Okay.
it is snow.
That was a mouthful. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, Karen Singer from the Midwest. Good morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate you. Jill from my hometown of Chicago. Hello, Jill. Thank you for being here. Of course, I'm in Washington, but from Chicago, everybody. Seeing all these faces on YouTube is fun, isn't it? It's great. It's great. So what Laura and I do is we pull some cards, we talk to you guys, we pick some people, we ask and answer some questions. So did you pull a card for this week?
I did. And this week I am pulling a card. I pulled a card from Karen Kay's deck. It's Oracle of the Fairies. Now, Karen's going to be on my podcast soon. Yeah. So actually, I'm going to have her on the second time because the first time we had technical difficulties. So I'm going to have her on again very soon. So Oracle of the Fairies. And I love what she has on the inside of this box. You know, she said, I love the blessing she offers the people who open a box of her cards. And it says, may you discover your fairy wings inside the sanctuary of your gracious heart or precious heart.
That's
precious
beautiful. Heart. Can you show that again?
Yes.
Oracle.
She's lovely.
Love
she's
that.
Lovely. She's from the UK and got a lot of beautiful decks. But the card I pulled was called Look in a Book, right here. Oh, cool. And what this does is it says, whatever your question right now, you'll find the answer in a book. The words you find will bring the insight you seek. So it brings up a great topic about being your own oracle, right? So if you ever need some insight, you know, the world is always talking to us through everything that surrounds us around in the world that we're in. So if you ever need some insight and you're like, I wonder what I need to know about this situation, just pick up the book that's nearest to you, open it up, and just, you know, run your finger down the book and see where your finger stops, right?
I love that idea.
And then see if how it's sort of like being your own oracle without pulling a card. It's the book that's doing it for you, and see if it applies to what you're considering and what you might be struggling with, and you might find there's some incredible wisdom with that. Does anybody ever do that? I'd love to see if anybody's ever done that. I know I have.
And Jill says, I have that in my hands right now. You gave me chills, meaning the Oracle deck.
No way. Yeah, that's awesome.
Really cool. And for you that guys don't know, Laura and I are both on mindbodyspirit.fm. Let me say that again. Mindbodyspirit.fm. You can find both of our podcasts on there. Please come take a listen. Please come take a listen. And Laura, that's how I created this book, From the Universe to Our Hearts. It is 100 heartfelt thoughts from the universe. So you can flip it, open it up, and there's your word for the day, inspiration, and that's your message.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I love doing book divination. The messages are chilling. Christine, whatever book you want, any book that's near you, Laura said. whatever is right next to you.
Hopefully it's Elias's book. So right next to you. Very easy reach.
And kind of on that same wave pattern, growth.
Mhm.
This is again, I'm using this deck one more time this week. It's The Sacred Forest by Denise Lynn. This is just an amazing look at all the butterflies, you guys. It is about transformation and growth. So you can get inspired by a book, by a word that you need to know that you are connecting on a subconscious level to the message that you need, right? And that's all about growth. There you have it.
Great.
Okay. Should we pull some cards?
Yes, let's do that. If anybody would like us to pull some cards for you, it'd be great to have a question rather than just saying, just pull any cards. If you have a question about any particular areas of your life that you'd like some insight on, I know that each, how to use the cards, but what is the best way to use the cards for yourself? I know that each.
She meant cards.
Yeah. Yes.
So each deck has the instruction. How do you feel? How do you feel moved to use the card deck? Well, I'm going to share something with you. Do you see this book? I've had this for probably 6 months now. So I've never opened it. I think it's really important. This is a guidebook, right? But this is the author's, it's Denise's interpretation of what you have. John Holland does the same thing. So many people do the same thing. Radley and Dougal, they do the same thing. It's about you understanding, what do you feel from the card? What do you get from the card, right?
Yeah. It's always good to know what the rules are first. They get to know the cards and everything. But then there's always another level, another layer of knowledge that comes from the card, from your own intuition, that you can, you can just read the card and just go with that. But then as you get to know your cards, and they sort of take on their own personality, and they start to mean certain things when you're doing readings. And so trust what you're feeling intuitively. You may have the baseline meaning for a card, but there's always a little bit more that you can pick up around your intuition just by looking at the imagery on the cards, the colors. Maybe if there's numbers that might come up as well. Christine says, okay, oh, great. What is my next step in my psychic journey? I'm told many times I'm a healer and I do have healing hands. How can I use this? Okay.
I like it. Okay.
So, Christine, one of the first things I'm picking up around you, there's definitely a lot of healing energy around you. There's a lot of green around you. So that oftentimes means someone may be inclined towards work like that, or they may just, no matter what work you're doing, that may come through the work that you're doing, even if nothing related to it whatsoever. But the other thing I'm seeing with you as well is there's a lot of red with you as well. And the way that it's coming across, when I see this color and the way that's coming across, it can indicate that it's time to make a change and to start stepping forward and create action with this. So if you're kind of been on the fence about doing something in this direction, and like, for example, if you've never taken a Reiki class, maybe it's the time to explore that. That's a great place to begin, is a Reiki class, because not only is I think everybody should take a Reiki class if they feel inclined. I don't care if you're a medium or not, or a psychic or anything. But energy healing is a wonderful practice to learn. And also a really good Reiki teacher will teach you boundaries, energetic boundaries, which everyone needs as a human being. It's very important to know that. So yeah, Delora, have you, no, Christine, have you taken a Reiki class yet? Okay. If you haven't, explore that first. I think I feel intuitively that that's your next step. I mean, it would be I shouldn't tell you what to do, but it feels like it would be a great next step for you. So what do you feel, Elias?
So the first thing that pops up is an animal spirit guide, and I see a cougar, and a cougar is all about leadership. So where do you need to step into leadership in this way? So like Laura said about doing Reiki is going to take you onto a path of healing. And like Jill said, we're all healers. I personally believe that, the energy comes through us, right? We're holding that energy. So in a leadership role, it feels like Christine, that you have a lot to say. And I feel through your healing, through your personal healing, you then create the healing to share it with others, whether it's verbally or physically. So just take a look at that as well. Christine said yes. So yes, as in taking Reiki. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Jill says, I've been wondering what my next step is in my spiritual journey should be. I feel like there's so many options, it's hard to know where to focus.
Yes. Okay. That's a very common thing, especially when someone's just sort of beginning on their spiritual journey, or they've been on a little while and they're still discerning where they should be. So where do you feel most drawn? There may be a lot of options in front of you about different classes you might want to take, or different paths, but where do you feel really drawn? Okay. And focus on that first. And then gradually, like the things that we see that we're pulled to, if we're meant to have that as part of our journey, it will come back. It'll circle back. So don't worry. You're not missing out on anything. I think people worry they're going to miss out and they want to take every class and read every book. It's really good to put into practice what you've learned already, which is really important. A lot of people take class after class after class, but not really integrating into your life. But where do you feel most pulled? That's what I want to know. Jill, if you can share that with us.
Yeah.
11, she put 11. Yep.
Jill M.
Okay, speaking to spirit.
Yes.
She says, okay, so medium. Okay, so if that's what you're interested in, if you haven't taken a psychic development class first, I think that's really important. First of all, Reiki is wonderful to start with for anybody. It's incredibly important, especially for anybody who's doing energy work of any kind, but medium, intuitive, whatever that might be. So Reiki would be great. Then if you haven't taken a psychic development class, get the basics down. I think it's, okay, she says she has. Wonderful. Okay. So now that you got the basics down and hopefully you've practiced with that as far as psychic work with people, intuitive work with people, maybe you're in a psychic development circle, that would be wonderful. Then once you've got the good foundation of that down, perhaps take like an introduction to mediumship class, which I will be doing very soon online. So it's on the calendar for March. It's not up yet for registration, but keep an eye on my website. So that would be a great, I'd love to have you in class. So come on in. And I know, Elias, you're also offering classes as well.
I am. And I think there's two Jills, Laura.
Oh,
so
okay.
Jill said, speaking to spirit, and Jill M said, I want to help people.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
Jill, we're answering your question and Jill M's question together. So Jill M wants to help people. Let's ask you, how would you like to do that? And Jill wants to speak to spirit. So understood. And yes, we're doing something. It's a 1-year program. It is psychic development, mediumship, a little bit of mediumship development, and then personal development. I really feel that if you don't get in line with how you're speaking to yourself, like I am talking poorly about myself, your clear audience is not going to come in clearly because you are lowering your vibration of how you hear about yourself, how you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I'm fat, ugly. If you keep on saying that, you're lowering your vibration, and your clairvoyancy is not going to come in as clear. You are talking smack about yourself, seeing smack about yourself, and you're lowering your vibration. My personal belief.
Yeah, I believe we have to clear our own windshield, how we see the world, so that you can hear spirit clearly and your intuition clearly. And here's another, and it's funny, I just pulled this card, hidden depths. Something hidden is about to come to light, perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we can become free. So this is about doing the work for yourself. And I always say, like, developing as a medium or a psychic has to go hand in hand with your own personal development and your own personal working on your own stuff. If you're trying to do too much on this side, but you're not doing enough on this side, it becomes imbalanced. So if you're working on your own stuff plus your own development and just keep working this way, it's a powerful place to be. So.
And I love, Jill, that you don't speak negative about yourself and you stay away from negative people and things. That's awesome. Good for you. And she said that she hears voices, pulled to communicate. I hear voices as I wake up. So, it could be your guides talking to you as well. So many, many very cool things here. Hang on one second. Jill M says, I've been working hard on being positive and teaching my kids the harm negativity does. Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Karen has a question. I have a group of spiritual guides coming in again. Will this be for my growth, or will focus be for others? Thank you.
Well, just logically, I always feel like anytime we're working with our guides, it's for both. It's for everybody. Okay. Let me just kind of see. I'm not a big guide person. Every once in a while, they'll come in really strongly into a reading, but you said the spiritual guides coming in again. I just get this impression that there was some guides that came in initially when you were first really opening up. Then I just felt like they backed away. Then one is coming back with more additional people. So that's what it feels like. It feels like a similar guide coming in with new guides, possibly writing guides, trying to communication. There's something about, I just feel like one of your primary guides kind of backed away for a little bit to let you do something you need to do. And this primary guide is coming back with some people working on communication with you. So does that make sense, Karen? I hope it does. I know it sounds.
And here's the thing, Karen, because I know you personally. I just, I think, as Laura said, they're here for both. I would like you to look at, my sense is to look at some journals that you have written or journaling. And I'm wondering if you're going to be creating a book. I'm just wondering, dealing with all that you've dealt with, dealing with physical stuff that you've dealt with. I don't know. It just feels like it. So there you have it.
And I picked a card for her to protect your dreams.
Nice.
Okay, you are the guardian of your precious dreams, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. Very nice.
Very nice. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Hi, Michelle.
Good to see you. Anybody else have a question that they have? Comment, concern. You want to know more about Laura? Just ask away, people. Ask away.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if anybody else has asked questions here. If you'd like us to pull a card, go right ahead. Okay, and I can also pull a card for everybody who's here, and if you happen to be watching the recording. So let's just look for the coming week if there's anything we need to focus on as a group here. Okay. And I love that you're teaching a 12-month program. That's wonderful, Elias. Great.
Yeah, just 90 minutes once a month.
Very good. Yeah. Okay, I've got a card for you guys. It's beautiful. Oh, it's got like she's got dragonfly wings. Pure intention, the fairy of manifestation, will help you to use your wishes. Help you to use your wishes wisely. Manifest your heart's desire with pure intention for the highest good of all. Isn't that interesting? Because we just mentioned that it's like when a guide comes in, they're not only here to help us, they're here to help us help others. So, pure intention. What is your intention? And trust that that your intention will open doors of opportunity to help others, whatever that may be. Dolores says, Laura, I'm doing my vision board for the year. I feel like I'm not asking big enough. I don't think we ever ask big enough, do we? Yeah.
We don't. No. We have to know that we are worthy and deserving, like you said earlier, of it. So true.
We do it. And I will share my manifestation story after in a little while. Yeah, there's some things I will share my manifesting story once I get past a certain date. I'm not pregnant. Don't worry. Oh, yeah, my grandmother. That would be shocking. So anyways, yeah, but I'm going to share this with you, and I will share my process, which I didn't realize I was doing when I was doing this. So.
And here's the thing to know, everybody, especially if you're doing a vision board. I'm teaching a class tonight locally at it's called Sweet Intentions Boutique in Camas, Washington.
Nice.
And I was teaching a vision board. I did this to a class 2 weeks ago. And the vision board that I'm teaching is how to do, like, everybody puts all these pictures and words down and they put this big collage and you walk past and you're like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm teaching them to set a vision board with intention. So if you cut out the pictures or cut out words and simplify it, and maybe there's 8 or 9 or maybe 5 things on the board, put 3 action steps next to each picture. So it's an intention board with vision. So now you've got the vision, you're calling it in, but now what are those action steps to help you get closer to the vision that you want?
Good advice. Wonderful advice.
And look at this card. I like to call it the Delora card because she likes it so much.
Foggy Bog? Patience. That's a pretty card. That's gorgeous.
So think about it, guys. We're talking about manifesting, and we all have. I like this, Laura. I don't know if I've ever done this with you. Have you ever had verruca-itis?
I don't know. Have I?
So remember the original
to do with Willy Wonka.
The original Willy Wonka. Veruca Salt wanted the goose that laid the golden egg, and she wanted it now, Daddy. So that I like to call it verruca-itis. We are really impatient. Look what Dolores says. Oh, Lord. And Karen says, yes, I wasn't ready when they came in the 1980s, opening up again, and they are back. Brotherhood. Yes. Pulled to right. Okay. Wonderful. Excellent. 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 Karen says, thank you both.
You're very welcome.
I thought it was fairies in the water card.
That's Denise Lynn's deck, right?
Yes. My first attempt at manifesting was very successful. And since then, I don't know that I have truly sat down and set up something that I wanted to manifest. Okay.
Is it, I'm curious, is it that you're not sure what you want to manifest? You're not clear on that yet, which is okay. It's okay not to be clear on something yet, that you may need more information before you can really set some intentions in.
Yep. Let's answer this one. And I know we're limiting our time on YouTube. So Jill says, do you see me having gifts? Not sure if I asked it. So I'm just going to say this. Think about this. Think about Jill, because you're from Chicago. Think about this. Oprah comes to see you, and your whole family's there. And Oprah looks at everybody in your family and says, you have a gift. You have a gift. You have a gift. Oh, Jill, no, sorry, not you. So think about it. We are all born with a gift. Every single one of us. Laura has said it. I've said it. John Holland said it. We are born with a gift. We're all born intuitive. It's a natural piece. Fear is what blocks it. So I would say this, you have a gift, but everybody's abilities are different. And that's why we teach how to tap in, to strengthen, to get clear on some of those abilities. What would you say, Laura?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we look at our gifts as, like, we have the gift of physical sight, we have the gift of physical hearing with our physical ears, we have the gift of smell, we have the gift of everything. I don't see our gift of clairvoyance and clairaudience, I don't see that any differently than I do with the gift of sight and the gift of physical hearing. So I think sometimes if we just kind of look at it that way, that I think it takes away the mystique from it, so that becomes less of a block for people to recognize that you do have these abilities as a human being on this earth. You have these abilities, so never question that. Some of us may be stronger in clairvoyance, some of us may be stronger in clairaudience, but it's just recognizing when those things are happening is going to make all the difference. And it's wonderful that you're going to be, some people are in this group are with Elias on this 12-month program, so that you can learn how to recognize when that's happening in your life. Because I pretty much would guarantee you're all having a psychic experience every day of your life. It's just recognizing when that's happening. Hello, puppy.
Barking on the truth. Barking on the truth.
I have the gift of hearing right now. Okay, I only ask, okay, I'm not, okay, where are we? I only ask, is my husband comes in orbs all the time? Okay, when you see the orbs, do you feel like the presence of your husband? Because you would know what the essence of your husband feels like, right? I have pictures of him, and wow, beautiful. Very nice. I just love how they do actually bark on the truth.
No, I'm sorry. I muted myself because now she's done. John came in, so she's barking.
Okay.
So I have a question that I'm going to ask you, and don't want to announce it till later, but I have a question that I'm going to ask you a little bit later. Let's see. Could you be getting the chaos out while you're working on that? The manifestation will come easier when you get rid of the storm. That's interesting. Yeah, fascinating. I would agree that, sometimes when we're in the middle of the storm, the chaos is all around, we can't really manifest, right? But if we take one thing, just one simple thing, and just say, okay, show me direction, just one place, and see what happens. Just see what happens about that. Okay. Thanks, honey. My husband gets me chai tea with cinnamon on top. It's
yum.
really good. It's very good. Laura, so where else can they find you?
Just laurawooster.com. Yeah, and I'll be posting that online class soon, and that will be very, very soon. Be offered through the Journey Within. And there'll be other classes as well, but I don't have those on the calendar just yet, but they're coming.
And you might hear an announcement from me, guys, regarding Laura. So I'll let you know that in a little bit. So, real quick, we'll answer this last question. What's your explanation of deja vu?
I feel, and I could, I'm not big. I mean, I don't know a lot about science and things like that. So I'm just not a scientific person. I feel that deja vu is our intuition picking up on something ahead of time, having that feeling of deja vu. What do you think, Elias?
I think that it's, and I don't understand this because it's not in my wheelhouse.
Me neither.
If you were to tell me, if everybody knows that the world is round, back in the day when we thought it was flat, you would tell me that it's round. I understand that, but I don't get it. So if I was to tell you that this happens on different timelines, I could tell you that. I can't explain it. So I think it's like this timeline and this timeline are meeting.
Yes, like a wrinkle in time.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I don't either. Quantum physics just goes right over my head. But I do think there's something to it.
Greg Braden question.
Yes, that's a wonderful Greg Braden question, because he would be able to explain that better. But I do think the easiest way I can describe it, just like you mentioned with timelines, because every time is not linear. It's kind of stacked on, if you imagine it stacked on each other, and sometimes they just overlap.
I love that.
I see deja vu as a dream precog of the next day. You only remember the dream after the deja vu. I've had that happen too. I've had that. My son's had that too. I remember when he was young, he freaked out. He was like probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. And we were just going about our day. And all of a sudden he just freaked out. And he goes, I dreamed about this last night. And he goes, how did that happen? He was just so freaked out by it. He said, I saw it just like it played out right here. He said, this happened exactly in my dream, just the way it is right now. And And I'm like, I understand, because I've had that happen too.
Isn't it interesting? Like sometimes, like I'll have a thought of a conversation, just a thought of a conversation that I might have with John or somebody, and a month or two will go by. John will walk into the office here and be like, blah blah blah. I'm like, did we just?
Did we already have this conversation?
Right. That kind of thing. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're normally on for 20 minutes. We've been a little bit over, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Jill says, I love both of you guys' energy, and thank you for all your education. You're welcome.
Thank you, Jill.
Please go look at our websites, take a look, and we'll have a special Laura announcement soon from Laura herself, and a special announcement about Laura from me after I ask her once we get out of this.
I am very curious right now.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
And, remember to like, follow, and subscribe.
See you next week, everyone.
Take care. See you next week.
Mwah.